welcome to episode 11 of the Benchwarmers Perspective. Today we're here with Christian Subdon from Whitehall, AD, basketball coach, does basically everything over there when it comes to sports.
Yeah.
How you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So about to start football season. What does that look like for you as an athletic director going into football season?
Just kind of getting ready, seeing what the coaches need. For football, it's getting the equipment ready. You know, we've got coaches that have been there a while, so they just kind of take care of it. They say, we need this, and that's what I do for them.
Yeah.
The schedule's already done well in advance, so it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Just getting ready to go.
What are you most excited for this year?
I'm really excited for all of our sports.
Yeah.
Coaches have been working really hard. The players have been working hard. They've been in the gym. They've been on the fields, going to camps.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a big year for Whitehall sports.
Yeah. How excited are you for basketball?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It's we got a tough schedule.
I saw it. It is pretty tough.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal, but I think it'll prepare us better for postseason.
Yeah. So this year going into, what is this, your fifth year coaching?
Fourth year coaching varsity.
Yep. Team's a little different this year with, was it Kyle and who else graduated?
Kamar.
Yep.
DJ Jameson.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm sure I'm missing others. I'm just blanking right. I know I had 5 seniors last year. So
who's kind of going to fill those spots, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I mean we had a good summer. We played quite a few games like we always do.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of guys that could step up into those roles. We have I wouldn't say it's set for sure.
Yeah.
We had Brock Morningstar, who wasn't a starter last year.
Yeah. Played good minutes for you guys, though.
Yeah, he played a lot of good minutes. We had Cy Black, who didn't play as many minutes, but he's been working his tail off. Still have Cal and Cam.
Yeah.
And then Finn Moeller played for us as a sophomore. He didn't play last year, but he's
played
back.
against him.
Yeah.
I played against him in open gyms on Sundays.
Okay.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
I like playing against him.
Yeah.
It's fun.
He plays hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick. Way quicker than me.
Right.
A lot quicker than me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But we've got quite a few players. We got a lot of juniors that are gonna have to step up into big roles.
Yeah.
We have Hunter Osborne that played as a sophomore, and he's a junior now. So there's a lot of people that they're gonna have to step up and play minutes. So
Yeah.
excited.
I'm excited to play against you.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one of my favorite games, and I'm guessing it's one of your favorite.
Yeah.
And Ludington too. I'm guessing is one of your guys' favorites as well. You guys have been battling them for the last 3 years now, back and forth.
Yeah, we played them even before they were in our conference, and I know we had an overtime game against them right the game before. They came in our conference. We split the first year, and then we beat them twice last year. But they were both really good games.
Yeah. What's it like having a guy like Cam on the team? I mean, just a generational talent like that.
Yeah, it makes my job a lot easier than it is. He makes his teammates better.
Yeah.
Makes his coaches better.
I love playing with Cam. It's I don't got to rebound.
Yeah,
which,
exactly.
Not that I should be. If I'm rebounding, then we got a problem.
Right.
We got a different problem.
He's a phenomenal rebounder.
Yeah.
Man. He just does a lot of the little things.
Yeah.
Everyone sees the scoring and that kind of stuff, but that's just a flash in the bucket of what he really is.
Yeah, it's the first thing I noticed when we were game planning for you guys last year, that was I'm like, we just have to get him off the boards.
Yep.
Like, get him off the boards. The guys, you got to push him around. You got to get him away from that hoop, or else you're done. Like, it's over. And that first game we played you guys was a tough one. That went back and forth. That was a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Probably our best, honestly, in my opinion, our best game of the season overall. What was your favorite game last year?
When we played Cadillac, that was a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
That was up. We played up there.
Yeah.
Loud crowd. Shores was another fun one. Went into overtime.
Yeah. You guys ended up beating them, right? You were undefeated. So
Yep, we did. But those are always fun atmospheres.
Yeah.
Always at Ludington is always a crazy atmosphere. It will be again. I think this year for the Montague, Whitehall games will be even better. We switched to girls game before the boys game now.
Oh, really? Yep. So the girls will play. Oh, that is sweet.
So it'll be girls varsity, then boys varsity. So I
like that. We did that one time when I was in school with Muskegon Heights.
Yep.
We played them, and we did that, and I liked it way better because JV is fun to watch as a varsity player.
For sure.
But girls basketball, that haven't been there, being able to support them is a lot more fun.
It's best for our communities too. Being the Montague Whitehall game, we'll have the freshmen in both JV games on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then we'll do both varsity games at night. So I think it'll bring a pretty big crowd. I would assume.
Oh, yeah. Especially if it's both.
Yeah.
Both, you'll get. We'll have one at both places. So
I don't even know who's first. I think ours is first. I think we'll be playing in the new gym when we play you guys at Montague.
Maybe. From what I heard, it'll be close to done. Jay, when I talked to Jay last, he was like,
not sure.
Yeah, not sure. It should be done around that time, but you never know.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys have a massive gym.
Yeah.
Every time I go in there, I'm like, this thing gets bigger every time I'm in here.
Yep, it's probably a little bit too big, but we filled it quite a few times last year, so that was fun. We filled it for the Montague game, Covenant Christian, that was their basketball school. We filled it that time, and then Ludington, of course.
Yeah, Ludington, their gym is like half the size, and it feels like there's like 1 million people in there.
Yeah.
Did you guys play North Muskegon last year?
We didn't, but I do love playing in North Muskegon.
That little tiny thing. In the middle of the city, that's like you get 10 people in there, and it feels like you got 40.
It's loud.
Yeah, really loud. Yeah. I remember we played up there. I think it was my junior year. We played up there, and it was just there was like 1,000 people there,
right?
And it was so loud. Like there's people lining up under the hoop. Those are my favorite type of games. I know back when I was still in 7th and 8th grade, the Montague Whitehall games, they're like 2 seasons in a row. They went triple overtime at Montague.
Yep.
And those were just packed.
Yep.
40 people all the way around the end of the hoops, and like just a ton of people there.
Yeah, those were fun.
What game you've kind of, assuming you took a look at your schedule already because you kind of built it.
Yeah.
What game are you looking forward most to this year?
We always look forward to the Ludington games, the Spring Lake. They knocked us out of the playoffs, so
looking to get some revenge there.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it's never really as sweet as you think it would be because it kind of ends your senior seasons.
Yeah.
We play a lot of teams from the OK this year. We got Rockford at Rockford and Hudsonville at Hudsonville game 1, and they've got a pretty cool stadium. Yeah. They've just built a multi-million-dollar stadium, so pretty excited to play in those games. I'm just excited to get out there with the guys again. It's fun. We had a good summer. We got better throughout.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah. So I ended up walking in the other day to your league games going on over at the. How long have you guys been doing that?
For the men's league?
Yeah.
Yeah, since I graduated.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, college, I think. Tyler Van Bergen and I actually, and Nate Artema, we kind of started that league, and we had it running, and then COVID kind of knocked us out for a while.
Yeah,
and
that's when I last remember it going, was during COVID.
Yep, and then we started it back up last year, and then we did it again this year. So we'll keep doing that.
Yeah,
so.
I'm going to have to get a team together.
Yeah,
get a CatchMark crew out over there.
There you go. It's a lot of fun. There's some really good talent. I mean, we had Drew Namick was playing. We've had.
I saw TJ McKenzie was there playing with Tate the other night.
Yep.
When I walked in, and there's a few other guys I recognized that were over there.
Yeah.
How important is the VAC to you guys? Like, I mean, just as a program, like I gotta imagine you guys use that all the time.
Yeah, we're pretty blessed in our community to be able to provide that for our students. You know, before it was practice at 9 o'clock at night was a real thing.
Yeah, that's how we were. We practiced 7 to 9.
Yep.
And it sucked.
Yep, and we don't do that anymore. It's our kids are out by 7 o'clock, which it still seems kind of late, but when you're talking about 9 o'clock, it's a big difference. So we're out by 7, and other sports are pretty blessed too. If it's thunderstorming, we don't have to cancel practice. We can just move it inside. Tennis practices in there, baseball, softball. when it's nasty weather out, like spring always seems to be in Michigan. When
Except for this year. This year it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't that bad, but it's just nice to have.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a cool.
I saw the golf sim the other night.
Yep.
In there when I was there, and I kind of want to use it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because Montague had one for a while that was here, and they were cool, but that one's like a legit one.
Yeah, it's nice. Our golf team got canceled today, and so instead of just calling and going home, they went and had practice.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely hate playing against you, but I admire everything you're doing over there.
Yeah.
You get your guys riled up beyond belief. But I'm over on the bench. I look over, I'm like, oh, he's back out on the court again. Get back in your coaching box, like just under my breath. But I love playing against you, dude. It's like those games get intense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's tons of fun.
Yeah.
I love those games. So this year, you're just kind of stepping into the AD role. What's kind of changed in that with going from coaching to becoming the AD for you? What kind of new things are you doing with that, and kind of your ideas going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of brings a unique perspective to the athletic director role, being that I am a coach.
Yeah.
I'm still a varsity coach, so I kind of try to get the, heartbeat of what's going on with our coaches and understand the other side of it too.
Yeah.
Kind of the business side. We've got a lot of cool things that we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing kind of a fundraising for our entire sports program rather than each program doing their own fundraisers. So we're kind of working together. That's starting to take off. We've got people that are doing cool things as far as tailgating things. And we just have a lot of things that were coming up that are we haven't done before, but people are starting to buy into it. And I think it's going to be really beneficial for our kids in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's cool to see what's going on over there. It's funny to me. And from an outsider's perspective, just the fact that between Montague and Whitehall, the only thing that separates them is like a 1/10 of a mile bridge.
Right.
Not even. Like
right.
It's literally like a 100-foot bridge. But it's like two completely different places.
Yeah.
And people who come from the outside are like, this is one city.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Talking about. But it is crazy to see. And one of my favorite things about being around here and all that is that how glued together the community is, and how it is really just one big community. And you kind of see that with both football and like football programs. Both of them are supported by the same community, and they're supporting you guys and they're supporting Montague, and it's just a really good thing to see. That's one of my favorite things about being around here. And just through all that is just amazing. What have you been up to this summer? I know you just got back from vacation.
Yeah, my wife and I went to Mexico. It's the first time I've ever been out of the country. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Been on the boat a lot. June's pretty much taken up by basketball the entire month, but July, go on the boat, hang out with my daughters. Went to Michigan Adventures a lot with them. They love it. Lots of fires. More golf than I've ever played. I'm not great at golf.
What's your handicap?
I don't even know. I have no idea. I'm not very good.
You're not getting in the league? You got to get in the league.
No, I never played, so.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
So how much golf would you say you did play? Like a round a week?
It felt like it for a while. We did the Whitehall outing, and I played 36 holes in that day, and for me, that's like a 10,000 holes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got to get you in the marathon.
Yeah.
I played in that this year.
Yeah, you guys are doing 100 holes.
I think we did 102 this year. Dad and I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I don't know if I could do that. But, it was I probably played in 7 or 8 outings. So that's
Jeez, I didn't play in that many.
Okay, that's more than I've ever played in before.
Yeah. So those are a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I love playing the outings. We play in the member guest over at White Lake every year.
Yeah.
And get a team together for that, and it's 2-person teams.
Okay.
And so it's a lot more like, okay, you got your partner, and you got to go out and shoot low, and it's a 2-day tournament with a practice round. And so you feel like you're on like the tour, because it's just legit. Like you're out there, you play your practice round, you're like thinking about, I'm gonna hit this shot, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and then you go to day one, and it's just like, okay, I gotta lock in, I gotta put up some points, because it's Stableford, so it's based on points.
Okay.
Make a par, you get 2 points, or a point. Make a birdie, you get 2 points, and it's handicapped. So it's a ton of fun. You got to get a handicap, round it up. Got to get in again and get a handicap.
Yeah, I got to figure it out. Got to get in the league.
Yeah. So what's kind of your plans going into the fall and all that? You got any big things coming up?
Nope, just getting after the sports.
Quick break from the action to thank our sponsor. Meraki Performance is a leader in performance coaching. Whether you're looking to motivate your business or your athletic team, Meraki Performance can help. Check them out at merakiperform.com.
I go to a lot of the games. I'm excited to go to the football games, seeing what's new. It's going to be different, not seeing those same guys there that we've seen for lots of years.
Feels like years.
Yeah, I know a lot of other teams are pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to go to the volleyball games. I've really started to enjoy going to the golf matches, seeing really the ins and outs of it that I didn't know before. Just excited to like I said, see our kids compete.
Yeah.
It's I think it's going to be a good fall leading into a good winter. So.
Yeah. So going into the fall and all that, looking at the football schedule, what games are you looking forward to most?
Yeah, we got the football.
That coaches. One is really tough. I have looked at that one.
Yeah, scheduled really tough. We play Unity Christian, who is predominantly pretty good. We've gotten them the last couple years, but they're looking to get us back. It's at Unity this year. Yeah. We play Zeeland West at home, which will be they're always good. I think we've heard that this is going to be one of their better teams since he's been there, Shillato. So. And then we play Portland, who's been really good.
Yeah, I think we played them a few years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we did. Yeah, I think we played them in the finals.
Yeah, they're solid. So they're a good football team, and then we obviously have our conference teams and our conference opponents. So there'll be some tough games ahead for our guys, and I know they're getting ready right now. They're really working hard. So
big switch, Cam going to quarterback. That's huge. I got to imagine he does well there. I mean, he's got the height, got the length you can see over the line. You guys have a huge line. Yeah. So you got to have somebody tall enough. I'm surprised Kyle could see over it.
Right.
With how he's a short guy.
Yeah, for sure.
But great quarterback.
Yeah.
So having a guy like Cam on the floor in basketball, how often do you guys build around him? Like build a play or build stuff around him? I know you guys ran that lob play on us.
Yeah.
Which we were ready for. We did see it in film, but when you get a lob, you don't get a lot of lobs in the West Michigan Conference. So seeing one, you're like, oh my.
Yeah, we've got we do a lot of plays off of them. We one of our favorite things, honestly, to do off of big plays like that everybody knows. Once you played long enough, they start to know the plays. They start calling them out. But we always have counters off of them.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago we ran the lob play and we were just calling it out. We knew everyone was going to know it, and then we hit a tray in the corner. Mm-hmm. That's one of our favorite things to do because even he loves it because they know he's going to draw all the attention, and then it goes backside.
And a guy like that, he's just like a magnet. It's like watching Curry when he was in the finals with Davidson. Just you got two guys on him. They don't care about the other four.
Nope.
But they'll put two guys to double team him. Something that I always thought was really that you guys did that he hated it, but that you guys did it to two people was you face guarded Tate and you face guarded Owen.
Yeah.
And we knew it every year. And we tried to get Owen open all the time. Mm-hmm. And he was gassed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I were them, I'd do the same thing.
Yep.
Because that would absolutely kill me.
Yeah, the point of it isn't always to take away we know he's going to score, just same as Tate or same as Owen, but we just want him to...
Rather than 15, 20 points, you get him down to 5.
Or he can still have it, but he's got to work for it real hard, and then also he's got to... we hope he takes bad shots, because high school kids take bad shots when they...
Owen takes a lot of bad shots.
Every once in a while, I'd say. Yeah, so we want... That's the thing. When they finally get the ball, they think, okay, I got to shoot it. Yeah. It's like, no, that's what we kind of want you to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So how do you guard a guy like Schillinger?
You hope for the best. I mean, he's a great player. You got to have you have to understand what they're trying to do. Have a great game plan. Which having a game plan is one thing. Executing is another.
Yeah.
We both games we played against them last year. We really executed, especially the one at Whitehall. We everyone was engaged in what we needed to do. And we did a great job. Even in the game at Ludington, I think he might have ended up with 20, but I think he scored 12 in the fourth. So I mean, we had him all corralled, and then we kind of lost focus.
Yeah.
A couple bad calls on my part probably, and then all of a sudden he gets going. So
yeah.
He's tough to guard when he can shoot it from anywhere, fast.
He hit a shot that this is still one of the craziest shots. I watched Cam do it one time. He went 2 dribbles to the right, kind of side dribbled out farther, and then like stepped back and faded away with Owen like in his mouth and cashed it. And I was just like,
yeah,
that kid's legit. He's a bucket. Like, you can't do much about that.
Sometimes better offense beats good defense. Yeah, it just happens.
So with you guys, what are you guys like game planning coming into this year? Like what's your guys' goals going into basketball this season?
Yeah, I mean,
coming off of a pretty big season last year.
Yeah, it's I think our guys would tell you the same. As successful as we were pretty disappointed at the end.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams are at the end, but we just felt like we were there, and the ball didn't bounce our way that game. So, I mean, we played in 5 overtime games before that, and they just seemed to work out then. So, and then it didn't work out in the district, so it was the wrong time for it to happen. But this year we're looking to do a lot of the same things. It's different because the guys that I had before with the Kamars, DJs, Kyles, Tranins, those guys, I had them for so long that we just knew. They knew what to do. They knew how they were doing it. This junior group Marcelo, my JV coach, has done a great job getting them ready. Yeah. But it's just different. It just is a big jump. So
it's just a different type of team.
Yeah, and they learned it. So we were probably, I wouldn't say we were great at basketball last year. I would just say that we were freak athletic.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So
whenever we play you guys, you seem to shoot the lights out. Like Kyle shot like the game before was like 2 for 4 or something like that. Yeah. It was like didn't shoot very well the first few games before that, and then went like 6 for 6 in the first half.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, where'd that come from?
Yeah. He's a Big Ten player.
Yeah. Question for you, and I know this might be like, oh, he's trying to get a game plan on.
No, that's all right.
How would you go about guarding Cam? Because I know how I would. Like if you were playing against him, what would you do? I know how I would because I played against him a few times, and I kind of messed with it a little bit.
Right.
But
yeah. People. He's a tough guard because you face guard him. Then we're gonna put him on the block.
Yeah, and you're gonna get posted up,
and he's gonna kill you there.
Yeah.
If you put a lot of pressure, run doubles at him. Yeah. He's gonna find the open guy.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be the key is make others hurt you.
Yeah.
But like I said, he's just kind of a.
He's unselfish too, which is the big thing.
And the other thing is he's not if he gets doubled, he's gonna make the right pass.
Yeah.
And then he trusts his teammates to make the shot, but he's not lazy either. So he's gonna assume a miss every time. Yeah. Even though he believes in his teammates, he's gonna pass to him. He's gonna assume a miss. So then you got to keep him off the glass.
Yeah.
So he's a tough guard. You got to be really physical with him, and it depends on the refs.
That's what I kind of said when we were watching film and stuff, and I was like, how do you guard this guy? And then I played him over the winter in like an open gym, and obviously I'm 5 foot nothing, and I'm not going to be able to guard him. But watching other people guard him, I found that I think if you like push him off the block, you get him moving a little bit and push him around a little bit, he tends to not be as aggressive.
Right.
And I think that's just his personality. Where he doesn't like, oh, this guy's pushing me around. I don't want to go. I'm going to go kill him. Right.
And pickup, he plays a lot different too.
Yeah, he shoots a lot more, is what I found.
Yeah.
But what we did when we played you guys last year was we put Riley on him, which was Isaiah. We switched him off and put Riley on him at one point, and just said, Riley, just push him around.
Right.
Like, don't kill him. We're not out here trying to kill people.
Right. Just be physical.
Just push him around, and I think that did it a little bit. But in my mind, you're just trying to keep him from 20 and 12.
Right.
He's gonna get 10 at least. He's probably gonna get 15 and 10.
Right.
You trying to keep him from the 20 and 12, 20 and 15. 2020 games.
Yeah.
Which is the tough part. I think he's a great player, great athlete. Possibly even better football player from what I've heard.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what he is. I would say we've had conversations, and I've told him that I believe he's probably a professional basketball player.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in the NBA or overseas, but I know there's some guys from around here that have played overseas that I know he's significantly better than. And coaches are telling us that they think he can play on Sundays, and when I watch him do those things at wide receiver, I don't think there's any doubt. I think.
Oh yeah, he's got the height, he's got the legs, he's got the speed for it.
Yeah, his work ethic matches it too.
His work ethic. That's the one thing that I've noticed with him. Like, you see a lot of great players, and that just don't end up just don't use it, right? But I look at him and I'm like, that guy uses the gifts he was given. Like, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah,
and I wasn't given any gifts.
Right.
So
he's worked really hard. Even over this summer, he's put on even more weight.
Yeah.
More strength. I mean, he's probably pushing 205 right now.
That's scary.
So it's gonna be. I mean, it'll be. He knows that people want to be physical with him, and he likes that challenge.
Does he have a dunk reel yet?
He hasn't been dunking as much. He did have his ankle hurt, so but he had actually, when we played in the Midwest Live, the best teams in Ohio and the best teams in Michigan were all there. We played in it, and he finished the game on a sudden death overtime with a dunk over a guy that was committed to D1 or D2
Is there
school.
a video of this?
I think we might have. He also hit a half-court shot to send us to overtime. Like, it was
pretty clutch.
It was. I mean, we were down 15, came back, won the game. Pretty impressive. I mean, the team that we played was really, really good. Warren G. Harding or something like that.
That sounds like a good team. That sounds like a team that you've never heard of.
Yep.
But they're like the best team that you've played.
St. Vincent, St. Mary's was there.
Oh,
So there was, Cass Tech. All the teams from around here that were good. So
So getting out of our regional a little bit, or out of our district a little bit, GRCC, how do you game plan for a team like that? Like, they're big, they're fast.
Catholic Central or Christian?
Both of them.
Oh, yeah. Catholic Central is, we played them 3 years ago in the regional, and they beat us up pretty good. You just have to match their physicality, which usually we don't have too much of a problem doing.
Yeah.
Then you got to shoot it well and not turn it over.
Yeah.
We turned it over way too much when we played them time in the regional. It's hard to game plan. They just lost their coach. He just to spend more time with his family. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
You want to not like him because
because you're playing against
him, but he's a phenomenal guy.
Yeah.
Wish him nothing but the best. And Christian, they lost their top 6 players.
They ended up making it to the finals that year.
Yeah.
They beat you.
Yep.
I watched them. I went to the finals that year, and I think they had a guy hit a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
To win it, or they lost. Yeah, maybe they lost by a point or two.
They sent it to overtime, and then they lost to Williamston.
The kid hit the buzzer beater. Then Williamston had that huge kid.
Yeah.
That just lit it up.
Yep.
And a small guard that was just torching them.
Yeah, he plays at Grand Valley now, Mason Docks.
Yeah. The game from that year that I remember the most was Grand Blanc versus who did they play?
Was it Cass? Probably.
I think so.
Yeah.
And they had this kid that just lights out from everywhere.
RJ Taylor, he was pretty good.
Yeah. And just torched. I looked over at Owen, and Owen I think he was a sophomore or a junior, and I was like, "Oh, you got to be like that kid."
Yeah.
Like, you got to hoop like that kid.
Right.
Because the kid, he reminded me of Jack Golke from Oakland.
Yeah.
Just torch it. How excited are you for March Madness every year?
Yeah, it's a great time. Usually I'm so just engaged in the our tournament that I don't even think I filled out a bracket last year for the first time. So yeah, but I love watching the games. The kids come over and watch them, so it's fun. Yeah.
So I had Rick Zulik right before you came in, and something we talked about a lot about was a call that I haven't seen made as much recently, and I was curious if he had seen it and had seen it missed a lot. The catch and adjust your catch, land, adjust your feet, and then go. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it used to be called a lot more, and it doesn't seem like it is.
Yeah. Why do you think that's not called much anymore?
I don't know. People just everything happens so quickly now. People are fast and athletic. They might not think it's travel. I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen it quite a bit lately, and I was curious what Rick was what he kind of said was that he was bringing it back to like fundamentals. A lot of guys are practicing different, and that's something that a lot of coaches can sometimes at the younger age can sometimes miss, and so it's been tough. How important has it been developing the younger generations, as in like the middle school and elementary school programs?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important. That's one of the things that when I took over, I said I wanted to be great at is understanding, knowing those kids at least.
Yeah.
It helped when I was an elementary teacher too.
Yeah.
For the first 3 years, I was an elementary teacher, so that helped. They're the kind of the foundation of what we're building. The guys that are here now are setting the expectations, setting the bar. But then we have to get kids to understand that just doesn't happen overnight. You don't just wake up and when you're a ninth grader and you get to be great and you get to be Cam Thompson or Kamar Reddy or Kyle Stratton or Trana Naylor.
Yeah.
Or you don't get to be those guys. You've got to put in the work. We've got guys right now just grinding, and it's fun to see. I got DJ Jameson. He's going to play basketball at Siena Heights, and he was in the gym today. He's been in the gym every day working. It's just cool to see. And they bring those younger kids along. We've got middle schoolers right now that are figuring out that, okay, do I want to be great at basketball? All right, well, then I got to work, and here's what it looks like. And I've got coaches that are willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
Derek Westerlin opens the gym all the time. Aaron Boyd's always there.
Yeah.
Marcelo, if I told him right now that I needed him to come in today, right this second, he would do it.
Yeah.
We've got really good coaches. Brandon Rake, he's coaching football right now, but if I needed him, he'd be there.
Yeah. So you grew up at Whitehall.
Yep.
What year did you graduate?
10.
Yeah. So what were some of your favorite teams to play when in high school? I mean, you played for Ardmore, right?
Yep. Yeah. And Anise. Yep. I played for Anise when I was a junior and Ardmore when I was a senior. We always liked playing Montague. It was tough games. I mean, they were good. They were really good. North Muskegon was always really fun to play. Trying to think who else in the conference. Ravenna was solid. It was the league was really good when we were there.
Yeah.
In football, I think we had 2 state champs and a state runner up.
Yeah.
Played. So it was a tough conference.
Yeah. So how do you kind of miss that old conference a little bit?
Yeah, sometimes, but then I like some of the new teams to play.
Yeah, I think Ludington's one of those teams that I really like playing.
Yeah,
solid squad.
Yeah, I love playing Ludington. They got good coaches, a good athletic director. I mean, fans are crazy.
Those Ludington fans will get after it.
Yep, they don't like us very much.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, I understand. I like it. Fremont we used to play all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So
I remember I had a Fremont kid. We were playing him. It was the first time we had played him in a long time for basketball. And this kid, huge kid, took 2 dribbles baseline and just yammed, like first play out the gate on Colton Blankstrom. Just took it to him and just killed him. Turned around on help side, just got murdered.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, that Fremont's one of those teams too that got added that you're like, man, that team. I mean, they had Chaz this year.
Yeah, they're solid,
and he's solid. Are you long term, or do you guys think you guys are going to be? How do you think the conference plays out? You think it's going to be a pretty solid conference for the next few years?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think there's room for growth, obviously, but I mean, I think that as we continue to get to know each other, being in the AD role, I've got to know a lot of the ADs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool dudes.
Yeah.
They really care about kids.
Yeah.
Which is something that I look at when I'm looking at who I want to be around. They really care about kids. They care about the conference as a whole. And we do have that. So I really enjoy that.
Yeah. So looking ahead a little bit, going into the spring and stuff, you played baseball in high school, right?
I played for 1 year, but I ran track. We're a solid track school, so my friends played track, so I decided that's what I was going to do.
What'd you run track?
I was the 110s, 300s. I did the 4x2 and then the 4x4.
How far did you guys go in that?
We went to the state finals every year in most of the things. We were all stayed in the 4x2 and the 4x4, I believe.
Yeah.
And then 300 hurdles. I don't think I made it out my senior year, but the regionals.
So you guys played a private school, GRCC, right? Coming out of the district.
Yep.
How do you feel private schools in the public kind of division?
Yeah.
In a way, like playing those schools and getting in those schools being involved in the finals and things like that. Do you feel they have an advantage? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean it's tough because we like to compete, so we're not scared to compete against anyone. Mm-hmm. I would say they probably have a little bit of advantage, but not necessarily. I wouldn't say. I don't know how the whole recruiting part of it goes. Yeah. People say they recruit. I don't want to get into that. I don't even know. Yeah. But there's usually a larger area.
Let's take another moment to thank our sponsor, Shoreline Restoration Construction. Did a storm recently hit your business, home, or other building? Then Shoreline Restoration and Construction can help. They are a leader in remodels, new construction, and much, much more. They also restore water-damaged buildings, flooded basement, and so much more.
Grand Rapids Catholic Central, for example. I mean, they're pulling kids from Holland all the way down to Grand Haven. And so, I mean, there's in all the way over, so they have a bigger pool to pull from, and they only take a certain amount of kids, and certain kids they get to choose, and we kind of get what we get. Yeah. Which we've been blessed at Whitehall to have really great parents, really great kids. So I wouldn't trade them. Yeah. But it's a thing that I think the MHSA is constantly looking at and deciding is this right? I know some people feel a lot stronger than me about it. There's a debate every year about it. There's surveys that go out and all kinds of stuff, but it's pretty sweet when you can beat them too. Yeah, it feels even better.
Yeah. So I asked Rick this as well, and how do you feel about adding a shot clock to the?
I would be greatly in favor of that. I think it would have benefited us huge last year. Yeah, because we like to go anyway. Yeah. And I know in the district game it would have helped us. We wouldn't have had to play the foul game, so we could have just played defense, which we're usually pretty good at. So. Yeah.
How do you think that would affect the game a little bit? Do you think obviously it's going to speed it up a little bit, but do you think something that I've noticed in specifically the West Michigan Conference's scoring is much lower than it has been in the past? Do you think it would increase that?
Yeah, I think for some, I think there's some teams that need the no shot clock, and I know when teams play us, I mean, if I were playing us last year, I would say the game plan would be to slow the game down.
Yeah, that was actually our game plan. Did that happen? Not really, but
because you have to because we want to go anyway, so we don't care about a shot clock. Yeah, we're trying to get across the floor in 3 seconds, and then we're trying to score within the next 10. Mm-hmm. So. It's I think it would actually help some teams and really hurt some others. I think we'd see a lot more pressing. I know that we're not really a pressing team, or we haven't been the last couple of years. 3 years ago we pressed full court man to man, but I think you'd see a lot more pressing to chew off some of that clock, the shot clock early. Yeah. Before they get past the half court. So
how long would you make the shot clock?
I think there's talking about 30, 35 seconds, somewhere around there, which seems like a long time too. Yeah. But
I mean, it's not. I mean, most possessions aren't that long.
You wouldn't.
It still forces you to be like, okay, I gotta keep an eye. I gotta keep an eye on it. Don't let it get too low.
Yeah, I think 30 seconds would be about right. You think about that's a long time, really, if you really think about it. So I think a lot of times they say that the people get it off a lot before that, but it's in the big games where it matters. Yeah. Like in the district game, they were able to just hold the ball and had to foul. Yeah. With the new 5 foul rules, I mean, you go to the line and you take out the 1-and-1s. I think the shot clock is a necessity now.
Yeah. I think it makes those, like you said, those late game situations much, much different. And you got to be a little bit, as a coach, you got to be a lot more careful with what you're doing, and a lot more it forces you to either in those late game, rather than kind of just dribbling around, doing the 4 corners or whatever, you have to focus on, okay, am I either going to go for a bucket here, or I'm going to try and get a foul and go to the line? And I think that forces the game plan to change a little bit. And I think that adds a creative layer to the game, the way it's played at the high school level right now.
What was Rick's view on it? I know
he actually, I mean, you guys have played him. He runs that flex offense, and the motion offense, and that flex offense. It feels like the goal is to just put you to sleep.
Yep.
The way he kind of described it was, the goal is to just try and find an open look.
Yep.
And he said, I think the shot clock would actually help.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And he kind of explained that what it would do is it would force guys to attack more. He said, I think it's going to get guys going downhill, which is what I want. I want them to go get downhill, collapse the defense, kick it out, swing it, get right back into that flex offense, start running it again. And I was very surprised. I didn't think of it that way, because whenever we played it, it was just don't fall asleep. Like, don't let them, do their thing until you're just not paying attention one time a guy gets an open layup or an open jumper.
Right.
Which surprised me a little bit. I'm completely in favor of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it helps those late game situations. I think it keeps I think it keeps the fouls down a little bit, because people will stop playing for fouls, or possessions will stop ending with fouls and end with more shot clock violations, or a shot attempting to go up a little bit, which will help speed the game up and help points go up on the board faster, which, I mean, like, if you look at it, scoring in the WMC has done this over the last few years. You guys are the rare exception where it's done this. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, we've set our scoring record the last 2 years, so it'll be tough to beat this year.
I think the highest I've seen scored for Montague from when I was in school, we scored 79 my junior year against, I don't even remember who we were playing. Yeah, we killed them, but that was the most we ever got.
Okay.
The motto was always with Coach Osborne was less than 50, less than 10, more than 50. We were supposed to score more than 50. They were supposed to score less than 50, and we were supposed to have less than 10 turnovers. Which I think that less than 10 turnovers happened like 3 times in my entire career. But it's I'm pretty pumped for basketball this season. I think it's gonna be a fun season. I think there's gonna be a lot of changes. Like you guys have a bunch of guys graduating. Luddington has quite a few guys. I mean, Schillinger, Justin himself graduating is a big.
Yeah, they lost quite a few off their team too.
Yeah, and then we had Isaiah, Owen, Paul all graduate. We've got some new guys coming up, and we're small. We're a small team, and we're going to be. But I think that if we can get that grit and grind mentality, we'll be pretty good. A team that surprised me a lot last year, which I don't know if you noticed this, was OV.
Mm-hmm.
They came out and they were swinging the first time we played them, and I love it. I love everything they're doing over there.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Did they kind of do the same thing to you guys when you guys played them?
We played them game 1, so that was a little different. And then we were rolling pretty good when we played them the second time, so we beat them up pretty bad. But I think they snuck up on quite a few teams.
Yeah, they snuck up on us. Like we came into it, we're like, oh, it'll just be like the first one where we kind of rolled over them and we're kind of like whatever. Mm-hmm. And we didn't play very good in that second game, and they just came out. We're just like, we're going to take advantage of it. And they weren't a big team by any means. Right. And they just came out swinging and playing hard, and I loved every minute of it, other than the fact that we were getting our butts whooped because we were playing lazy. But like, we kind of deserve it if we're playing lazy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, going into the season, any big tournaments you guys are playing in? I know you guys played. What was it? Was it the one in Holland last year?
We played Cornerstone last year.
Yeah.
We're playing in the Cornerstone Classic again. We're only doing one day this year. Last year we played East Grand Rapids and then Hamtramck in that one. But we're playing Forest Hills Central. They're really good.
Yeah.
We've seen them we played them 2 years ago at Hope. We got them at Hope.
Yeah.
We saw them this year. They're they're really well coached. They're a really strong team.
Yeah.
We're also playing in the D Zone Classic.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be going to Detroit to play.
Yeah. That's big.
I'm not sure who we play yet. They kind of rank you throughout the
season.
Yep. So the first 7 games they'll rank us, and then our 8th game is there. If I had to guess, we'll probably play like a Detroit Martin Luther King. Somebody like them.
Yeah.
So
out of all the games you're playing in those tournaments, or do you know what, like, other than obviously the D Zone Classic or whatever, at Cornerstone, you said Forest Hills Central?
Yep.
You guys, they're a pretty good squad. What are you guys kind of game planning going into that?
They're big, they're physical, they're fast, they can shoot.
Yeah.
It'll be like playing in a regional final game. We also play in the Muskegon Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I think we're playing Caledonia in that.
Yeah.
It hasn't been set for sure yet, but
yeah.
All these teams that we're going to be playing are going to be those regional game kind of feels. So it'll prepare us for districts, but it'll prepare us for the regional too if we can get there.
Yeah.
So, and that's the goal, get there and see what happens.
So looking back, what's been your favorite game to play so far? Like
throughout the career, I think it was probably my first year. We knocked off Spring Lake at Spring Lake after we played them game 1 and they beat us by 20 something. I mean, they beat us bad. It wasn't close. That was probably one of my favorites. Definitely 2 years ago, Ludington beat us game 1 at Whitehall. Then we beat them at Ludington to share the conference.
I remember that. I was there.
Yep. So that was a really memorable game. It was just something that we had to have it, and we did.
Yeah.
Our guys have been able to do that over the last. We've won the conference the last 4 years, so it takes a lot of luck too.
Yeah.
A lot of times the ball bounces your way. You get a call here or there.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been fortunate in that way.
Well, we're kind of running out of time here. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Got to get you home for dinner.
Yeah, for sure.
And I hope everything goes well for you this year and stepping into that new AD role. I'm kind of excited to see where you go with that. I'm excited to see Whitehall football, and I'll see you again on the court going into the future, going into basketball season.
Yeah,
I'll be coaching JV this year.
Awesome.
Not doing as much varsity, but I'll be there. I got to cover the game, so I'll be there. But
for sure.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and hope you have a good night.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.